ball sack.
Check. Okay, cool.
Check.
Alrighty then.
Welcome to the Black Parade.
The Black Parade?
Yeah, the MCR song, and they you hit the ding, ding, and then everyone's wearing eyeliner.
Oh.
Does that just weird memory I pulled out?
Yeah.
The first note of the Black Parade?
Oh, the piano note?
Yes.
Yeah. Why didn't my brain's not working today. I am moving this week and there's nothing. My brain is scrambled eggs.
We are both in a very weird empty moment right now where a lot of things are going on around.
We just talked for 20 minutes before we even got on. We're very stressed.
Yeah.
We're very stressed about things that are going on in our life. But you know what?
You just have to drop it out of your ass. You need to put it on the table.
Yep. We're just gonna not even worry about it. Not even worry about it.
Not even
Ain't
worry.
no thing but a chicken wing.
Ain't nothing but a drumstick in your butt.
Mm-hmm. What?
Chris, how packed are you?
Gnarly there. Gnarly there. I don't know what that is.
Gnarly
there. No, pretty packed. We just big stuff but movers will help with that, and family and friends and all that kind of stuff. So that's a stressful part, but I've been slowly doing that,
How exciting is it though? What's the first night's sleep going to be like in the new house?
I don't know. I'm excited though. We're going to be even more secluded.
Yeah.
Which is
middle
awesome.
of the desert.
Literally.
Action desert.
No, not the desert. We're surrounded by trees and stuff, which is really nice.
No, it's pretty.
Yeah. Texas is crazy. There's so many different biomes, and it just depends on where you are, because there's definitely a lot of desert out there, but where we are, it's tons of really beautiful trees, but then it's a little bit rocky. It's not so I don't know, but then we have a little
it's got texture.
It's got texture. So we'll see. I don't know.
That's good.
But I'm excited. But yeah, and then what about you? Anything new with you?
Someone tried to buy my baby yesterday.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we should dive into that.
Yeah, I heard
weird.
the brief Snapchat version, but please, you have the floor.
Remy and I went to the mall. Okay, I love going to the mall with Remy sometimes. He gets to look around. I get to pick him up and he gets to touch weird textures. He loves it. So we were there. I decided to get some lunch because he's in a really good mood. I get my food. I'm sitting there. This woman walks by. She just walks by. Walks by again. She's looking, smiling. She looks like a very kind woman.
Mm-hmm.
She sits down. So we're at a table. There's a million open tables. We're talking a Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. Okay,
yeah,
she comes.
The older people.
Yes, she sits down beside me. We gone to 2 malls that day. We were just chilling. She sits down beside me. She starts talking to us, talking to Remy. She's like, "What a cute baby. Oh, he's a little prince. Oh, you can come live with me." All those things that older people say. She was 50 or 60, right?
Okay.
So everything seems fine. But then she's like, it's so expensive to raise babies. You're too young. You don't have enough money. You're too young.
And
first I'm like, thank you. Thank you. So it starts getting a little weird. And then she's like, "You're too young." I'm like, "I'm in my 30s. And she's just looks at me. And then she's like, "Please let me take him. I'll buy him. How much for the baby? But I'm still thinking she's being really friendly. But she's rubbing his leg, which is don't touch other people's babies. So I'm just kind of rocking him, and I'm kind of rocking the cart away from him. She stops touching. She's like, "No, really, how much for the baby? How much? I have money. How much for the baby?" And I'm like, "Oh, he's not for sale. Ha ha ha."
How much? Just kidding.
She's like, "I can give him such a good life. He's such a prince. He needs to be treated as a prince." And I'm like, "First, damn, this is my prince."
Uh-huh.
And I treat my prince great. So I look at her, and her face has changed from smiley to her being like, "How much?" It's a desperate kind of thing. So I'm like, "Oh, well, we gotta go." I'm just getting out of the situation because it hasn't fully registered with me yet that how aggressive she's being. So I go into the bathroom. I change his diaper. We come out. I look. She's still sitting there, but she's on her phone. And she's looking at me, and she's watching me come out and watching me walk. So now the bells are going off. I'm like, I gotta get the out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's calling somebody. I'm like, I just need to get to my car and I need to go home. Because I shouldn't be on the phone with family. Maybe it was innocent. Maybe it's someone who's dealt with infertility. I don't know. So I get to my car and I call Adam first, who's just wow, that's weird. But then I call my dad, and my dad's a dad.
Yeah.
He's like, "Was she eating anything?" Like, he's just like all thing. I'm like, no, like she didn't. She came right over with nothing, just sitting there to talk to us. And even when I came out of the restroom, no food, nobody had joined her. And he's like, Selena, was she touching him? Was she touching the stroller? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, pull over right now somewhere busy and check for like an air tag or like a tracking device or anything. And those are things that I didn't even think of. But my dad, he's so on it. Ever since I had like my stalking thing when I was younger, he's on it. So I pull over. There was nothing. And like, I still don't think she was ill-intentioned. But I tell Chris, and Chris is like, oh, trafficker's problem. Like, this is like,
that's in my mind.
Anything. Dude, because you do so much true crime.
No, that's horrifying. When you said that, I was like, what? Like, I would, and you never know what you're going to do in that situation. I would I'd like to think I'd be like, I'd punch her in the face, but not really. Like, you don't do that.
I felt like de-escalating and getting away.
Nope.
But I just remember,
right. Yep.
I looked at him and he was my baby and my baby was looking at her and even he was catching something because usually he's like, but he was like staring at her so weird.
That's
and
funny.
like looking at me like, Mom, we need to GTFO here.
You need to take the shit out of my diaper. We need to get the shit out of here, dude.
Yeah. It was.
I don't know. I think it's, and she might just be a crazy person. She might just be a crazy lady that's like maybe just got some
senile.
Maybe crazy might not be the word for it, but just like she's just going around saying stuff. Shit, dude. I don't know.
Older people in general with babies sometimes are weird. Like, there's this woman at the market who I used to know, full on swung in and kissed him on the side of the face.
Yeah.
And then she's like, let me hold him. And I'm like, he's sick. No. And I just started walking away because in the moment I want to like be like,
dude, yeah.
But I can't react that way because I'm shy.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. That's fair. I don't know how I'd react. I don't have an infant. But thinking of people touching your baby makes me irate. I don't know. Yeah. It's just like, why do people think that they have dominion over, especially women, like dominion over baby, like any baby? You can't, like, I can touch them. I can do this. I can. Like,
when I first had him, like when we first had him, I wouldn't even let people look in his direction. I'd just close the thing. But like the more I'd be out with him, the more I like let him be more to the world. But still, like after, I'm like, I wish I would have done this instead.
Yeah.
Because if I would have called out to anyone and be like, yo, I'm uncomfortable, I know all the women in the area would have showed up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, do you call the cops about this? like,
yeah, right? It's like, oh, this one.
Like, should I? Tell me down below.
Yeah, right. It's like, what constitutes it? What's like, are you?
I'm also afraid though. In the
time, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just. It was a different nationality as well, so I'm like, I don't know if maybe that's just like they're just very touchy and like I don't know. Don't touch my baby.
No, there's being touchy, and then there's I want to buy your baby, like in a serious, like.
Well, I've run into some weird things. Like I'll run into people that be like, "Can I take a picture of your baby? Can I send a picture of your baby to my wife? He's so cute." It's like, why? That's so weird.
That is so weird. That is
he's
so
tired
weird.
And closed the top. Like strange.
Yesterday
was a weird day, dude.
You're brave.
Yeah, it was a weird day yesterday. There was like that full moon last night, but I have to. Okay, so that's not the only crazy thing that happened yesterday.
What else?
Guys, we're unwrapping Selena's insane day. I'm leaving on a paranormal trip with Adam. We're filming this thing, and we're coming into town early, and I decided I wanted to switch up one of the places that we were going early in the trip. And because I heard drama about this place, and I'm like, I just don't, after the day I had, I'm like, I want a peaceful time. So I ended up calling this place. I don't want to say where it is because I'm literally afraid of this woman. But I call and I leave a message asking about March 4th. So I call and they called back and I'm like, hey, I was wondering, like, can I rent out this place on March 4th? She's like, well, we have an event until 10 o'clock. You can't film the public. And I'm like, oh yeah, like we could do it after. And she's like, the building's so cold. I don't want to be there for that. I'm like, okay. And she's like, also, I'm familiar with you and your night shenanigans, but not in a funny way, in like an aggressive way.
Oh.
So then this is where it gets weird. She's like, I say, okay, well, what about Sunday? Do you have Sunday available? And she starts murmuring and she's like, well, it's a different price. It's not just a ticket price. I'm like, I know, I've ghost hunted everywhere. Like, it's a different fee to have the whole place to yourself. She's like, well, I have to be in every room. You're not allowed to be alone for 1 second while you're allowed in the building. And I'm like, I go, oh, that's weird.
Places before,
dude. I'm like, well, it's not that. So first, we've never had that, right? Like we've been up to our own devices. She's like, well, we've had all these big YouTubers coming in here and calling on demons and faking stuff. And I'm like, okay, but if you're familiar with me, you know I don't do that.
Yeah.
She's like, well, why are you uncomfortable filming in front of me? And I'm like, I don't think I'd be able to be myself on camera in front of a stranger. And I go, I'm shy. And she's like, you're not shy. You are not shy. And I'm like,
oh my goodness.
actually really am on camera, especially in front of people. Can you imagine filming an intro in front of people?
No, dude.
This
is why I don't film anything like in public besides that. But we're always by ourselves.
Chris and I are very reserved.
I don't know how people do the whole public thing, like going out in public and filming videos. Like,
no,
that's bizarre and crazy to me. I've tried to do it several times, but I suck at it.
Oh, dude, I feel
and it's so uncomfortable.
It's so cringe. But this woman, like, and then I said to her, she starts going, she's like, you're not shy, ha, like laughing. And then I said, I need to know why you're being so hostile right now. And she's like, I just need to know why you can't film in front of me. And I'm like, I literally have a hard time being myself in front of, I've collabed with 4 people because I'm a weirdly shy, awkward person. Dude, so then I'm like, I'm recording this call. She changes her attitude. She's like, okay. So, if it gets enough likes, maybe I'll drop it. But dude, it was so weird.
You recorded the call?
Yeah, like
that's
here's
amazing.
The thing. They like get people to sign contracts. Say you're not going to do that shit. You're ruining your business model by, basing everybody off some people that maybe did some stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
so
for sure.
Weird.
Yeah, but I mean, like she could just say no instead
just
of
say
doing
no.
all these. Yeah.
When she called me back and I heard her voice, I was like, this isn't going to go well. She didn't even know me. Maybe she's like my sleepwalking. A lot of people are like this on it. She had already made a decision about me. And but it was gross. It's like, I am such a simple being.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, oh, I just wanted to see if there's any ghosts in your place, but
yeah, I'm like, we just use equipment and then I try to talk to the ghosts. I'm not going to call in a demon. I'm not that person.
Yeah, we make besties with ghosts. We don't fucking, that's weird. Whatever.
Her loss. I'm a nice little bean.
Yeah,
I probably would have brought her Canadian maple syrup.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Go fuck herself.
Exactly. Ain't no time for that.
Have you had any people experiences that weren't great lately?
Last night.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
I don't go out like you do. So the only interactions I have with most people these days is like on the phone.
Yeah.
So I'm not good at talking sometimes. And I'm turning into just like a middle-aged woman slowly. I'm turning into my mother every day. And I try to like joke with people on the phone or whatever. DoorDash. We ordered DoorDash last night. And the DoorDasher calls me and he's like, hey, I missed some items or they forgot some items. Do you want me to turn around and go get them? They're just small items, like all the main items here. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. That's totally fine. I don't care. It's fine. That good conversation worked out. It was great.
Yeah.
Albeit I was alone. And then so Caleb walks in right after I get off the phone with him. And then the restaurant calls me. This restaurant calls. This girl's probably, I'm going to guess like 16, 17 maybe. And she calls me on the phone. She's upset. She's upset. And she's like, hey, I'm so sorry. It looks like I forgot to put a couple items in your bag. Like, do you want us to send out a delivery person to get? And I was like, oh my gosh, no. Like, I didn't care at all. I was like, no,
you don't care.
It's totally fine. I was like, don't even sweat it. And that's like kind of the way I'm saying it. I'm like, don't even worry about it. And Caleb's like pacing in the room, like on his phone or whatever. He's listening to me. And then being my idiot self, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, ooh, I have 2 little, they're not even jokes. They're just like little ice, like just, it's okay.
Yeah.
One was like, and it was vegetables. She's like, it's the vegetables we forgot. And in my head, I was like, oh, I can make a joke about vegetables. I hate myself so much. And I was like, so shut up. To like because she seemed upset, right? Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'll just make her. So in my head, I was like, okay, I have one of 2 options. One, I could say, I didn't even want to eat vegetables tonight. Who likes vegetables? Something along those lines.
That's perfect.
Right? Didn't say that one. That's probably the one I should have said. Instead, I tried to make it seem like me and Caleb are like lazy. Like I was just like, we should probably make our own stuff anyway. Like I was like, we can make our own vegetables anyway. Don't even worry about it. I said something along those lines. I was like, we can make it. We can make our own stuff anyway. Don't even worry about it. And then she's like, okay, I feel really bad. And I was like, no, don't worry. Like, it's no big deal. You have a great night. And she's like, okay, like still seems upset. And it hangs up. And I was like, that conversation went okay, but that was kind of weird. She was still upset. And then Caleb looks at me and he's like, oh no, I know you. And I think you were trying to tell a joke of some sort. And he's like, you basically told her, like, it's fine. We'll just make our own. and that's not how I said it, but like I played it back in my head and I was like, oh, and she seemed upset. And like, if you were looking at me talking on the phone, I would say, oh, it's fine. Like, we'll just make our own. Like, don't even worry about it. But you could totally read that as like, it's fine. We'll just make our own. Like,
we'll do it ourselves.
Exactly. So I didn't sleep last night. I was like, should I call her back? And he's just like, that was so funny because I know that you were doing that with every good intention, but that I guarantee. And I was like, wow, because it was on speaker so he could hear her. And I was like, oh, she seemed really upset even by the end of that call. And he's like, yeah, because you made her feel worse. And I was like, should I call her back? And like, I feel so bad. Maybe I should go there. Maybe I should bring something. He's like, no, don't make it worse. You're going to make it worse.
You're going to make it so much worse.
But I literally lost sleep about it last night thinking
you just show up crying. I'm sorry about my vegetables.
Yeah. Like, and it's not like a DoorDasher where like the DoorDash person, you could tip extra and like give him 5 stars. Like I gave the restaurant 5 stars and I said, thumbs up. It's great. But I was like, so I just, I'm an idiot. I hate myself. It's just one of those things where I like think about it and I'm just like, like that's just a thing I'm going to think about for the rest of my life and be like, I feel so bad. She seemed so upset. I think she like went through something that day and this was like the cherry on top for her. And then I ate the cherry and threw it in her face and not meaning to. Gosh, I'm so sorry. If you're watching this right now, I'm really sorry. I really didn't care about the vegetables, to be honest. I didn't need the broccoli.
You survived. Chris, that's hilarious.
That's so dumb. That took up way too much time. But that was my interaction, and I'm sad about it.
You know what? Shit happens, and she probably hasn't even thought about it. She probably went to bed and didn't even think about those fucking vegetables, but you were just laying there shattered. Shattered human being.
I was shattered. Yeah. So, well, that's why I don't go out in public and talk to people. And I always do that. I am like so weird and awkward with people. Like I've been like, listen.
Well, people think we're really not shy and really outgoing and good at stuff, but like we have to be on. But like we're quiet, reserved people, really, honestly.
I say the dumbest shit. Dumbest shit. Meaning the best, but sometimes it just comes out and I'm like, that sounded weird. That wasn't what I meant.
Every time I hang out with people, every time I go out with people, I lay in bed after and I'm like, I overshared. I said the wrong thing. They probably think I'm an idiot every single time I hang out with people.
Yeah. It's either I talk way too much to try to like make up for something or I don't talk at all. And I'm like, well, they think I talk too much and or interrupt. And then they think I don't like them because I didn't talk at all, but I just didn't really have anything to say. Yeah. I just overthink all my interactions.
Yeah.
Except with you. That's why we're here.
That's why we're friends.
Yeah.
We can talk to each other. Because we both know that we're both going to do that.
Yep.
Or just me before this call. I'm like, we're good, right? Like, we're good.
Yeah, sometimes you have to check in.
Sometimes I just go through periods where I think everyone hates me. And that's okay, too. I'm also in my period. I think that does that. I also have a weird question about periods. Whenever you're in a period, you just kind of feel like you could lay an egg.
Probably.
Like the pain just feels like
I feel like something should be coming out like that. An egg of sort. An egg with spikes in it. Or spikes on it.
Yeah. A lumpy egg.
For sure.
That's what I do whenever I just want to go sit on the toilet because I have bad cramps. I'm just like, Adam, I'm going to go lay an egg.
I mean, technically that's what it is. It's like the
egg.
eggs come out and then they're like, technically we do lay eggs. Oh, that's weird to think about. We're like just big chickens.
Can you imagine being a chicken and laying an egg every day out of your pussy?
Oh, she's frozen.
You're frozen.
That's funny. She froze after I did the chicken bagat. I wonder if she'll come back.
I was like, yeah, can you imagine if you laid an egg every day from your chibussy?
Yeah.
And you're like,
That's funny. That's awesome.
Oh my
I can't wait. I
God.
can't wait to be not in this office anymore. It's like the guys like fuck up the internet. They're like, oh yeah, we're resetting the internet. I'm like, I'm in a meeting.
Why wouldn't you tell me that?
Jesus Christ. Club in an
He said
hour.
we
Yeah, we know, bitch. Okay, sorry. Anyway,
I literally just got that too. I'm like, oh no. One time, that was funny. I got like a text. It's like you have a thing at in an hour in Toronto. I was like, I've been here since yesterday. I know.
I know.
I know. Yeah, we're gonna be on someone else's podcast today, which is cool.
Yeah. We're collabing. We're actually being social.
Yeah.
Yep.
Watch us just dude, we have to read. We have to read.
We have to read?
Yeah, we all have one we had to read, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I thought I was just gonna show up.
I know.
I didn't look at it. I didn't look at it yet.
Me neither.
Oh.
But we're excited.
Yeah, no, we're so
time.
excited. I just like being read to, that's all. Because I read a lot of
story
Reddit
time.
or story times. It's kind of a story time thing.
Yeah, and talking about Reddit, don't you have some Reddit for us?
I do. Yeah, I have a few creepy encounter Reddit things. I haven't read them yet because I like to be surprised by them. Yeah, the first one is I dated a murderer.
Oh my God.
Thought that was interesting.
So juicy.
Thought that was pretty interesting. I can read this one.
Alrighty.
All right, I need my fucking glasses. 1 sec.
This old lady, Nona's coming.
Yeah. Shit. God damn it.
They're so cute.
I got new ones.
They like them.
Thank you. All right.
She's a baby.
I dated a murderer. This is on r/creepy encounters from 6 years ago. I had gotten...
Hopefully they're alive.
We'll see. Well, they wrote this, so...
Oh,
yeah. I had gotten out of an 8-year abusive relationship and met someone on a popular online dating app. To be honest, I wasn't looking for anything serious. Just got someone to go watch a movie or have a drink with every now and then. I had 2 boys and was happy and living a peaceful life on my own after going through hell. Well, at least she got out of that relationship. So, I meet this guy who is just a couple years older than me, and he had turned his life around. When he was younger, he used to be in gangs and drugs, and now he was into working out and staying really fit and doing family stuff. I guess you can say I felt protected by him. He was a hard worker, self-sufficient, had a son, and he loved going to the gym every day. I myself had kind of a crazy past, but overcame, and so we seemed like a good fit. We would go to, it's good. We would go to dinner, movies, normal dating stuff, but he eventually wanted to spend more and more time together, and I was having trouble giving up all my free time for him. And he would get angry about this, like really angry. Oh no.
Red flag.
Yeah. After being with a controlling, possessive asshole for so long, this was obviously a red flag. There you go. And after 3 months, I told him I didn't want to see him anymore. He said he needed to confess something to me. He admitted to me that he was using steroids and that was the reason for his mood swings. He cried and said he was sure that that was the reason and was willing to stop it if it meant he could have another chance, and I obliged, but only under the condition that we remain friends. Things were okay for a while. We saw each other maybe every other week, and he started wanting to see me every week, to which I told him that I was not interested in being anything other than friends at the moment, since I was not ready for a relationship. He tried to talk me into giving him another chance, but I just didn't find myself interested in him in a romantic way, and so I insisted that we just be friends. I stopped talking to him because I got mad at his insistence that we still talk every day, since he said that's what friends do. He would no. He would always ask about my whereabouts and ask for pictures of who I was hanging out with. Oh, brother. And I told him that this was not what friends do, and he just insisted that he just innocently wanted to see what I was up to. Sounds like a controlling asshole to me.
Yep.
Fast forward 6 months later, and I hadn't spoken to him at all within that time. I was happy and living my life, and on one particular night when my youngest son was at his dad's, I went to our local bar with friends. My oldest son, who was 13 at the time, was home alone, so I left a little early to make it home around 10 p.m. I lay down in bed and go to sleep. So a little info on my living situation. I had been living in my condo for almost a year now, and we lived in a great, safe community, and I would leave my patio sliding glass door open, screen closed to get a breeze in at night. No biggie. Oh, I'm scared.
I would never do that in a town. I could do it out here, but never.
I just wouldn't do that in general. That scares the shit out of me. My bedroom was close to the patio, and my son would sleep in the loft that was closest to the front door. Scroll down a little bit. I'm dead asleep when I suddenly feel someone slowly sit on my bed. I'm laying in bed wondering why my son would come sit on my bed so slowly. He wouldn't. I turn around. It's not him. It's Mario, not his real name. It's me. Sorry. Laying down.
I sure did too.
Why would you say Mario? Laying down in bed next to me. Oh my God. I sit up and ask him how he got in. He's not answering me. He says, I needed to talk to you. I said, okay, when you need to talk to someone, you don't need to sneak into someone's room. You call them. You leave a note for them. Literally anything but this. I'm thinking I'm going to kill my kid for letting him in. Oh, okay. He thought he let him in. He said, I didn't have your number anymore. I needed to talk to you before it's too late. I didn't even entertain the before it's too late bit because I was livid, but something told me to keep my cool. I sit up and say, look, I really want to talk to you too, but not like this. Please just leave and I promise we will talk tomorrow. Call me tomorrow. He gets up and walks over to my side of the bed and starts rubbing my shoulders and is slowly making his way to my neck. He says, do you really want to talk? I look him in the eyes and say, yes, I've been wanting to talk to you, but not like this. Please call me tomorrow. He stares at me while rubbing my neck and goes down to my shoulders and lets go. Says, okay. This proceeds to exit through my patio door and jump my patio wall, which tells me that is exactly how he got in. Dude just leaves like Batman? What the I freak the out, check on my kid. He had no idea what was going on, locked all my doors, and I don't sleep the rest of the night. The next day, I text him and I tell him that if I ever see him near me or in my complex, I will call the police and to never contact me again. If you're wondering why I didn't call the cops to begin with, I am wondering. I knew he had a gun. Okay, so A, I was scared of being retaliated against for being a snitch, and B, I figured if I call the cops, they would probably not do much or just let him out, and I was afraid of what he would do after the fact. He broke into your house. He can get arrested for that. Either way, he left me alone and I didn't hear from him for years. Okay. 4 years later, I'm going through Facebook and I see his face in People You May Know. I click on the picture and notice that it looks like a jail picture. You know, those pictures where the guy is clearly in a jail cell. I scroll down the page and his most recent post is him posting his address for his family members to write to. A prison address. So I Google his name, and sure enough, articles after articles, all with the same headline, Man Arrested on Suspicion of Killing Girlfriend. About 2 years after him and I dated, he shot and killed the girl he was dating that could have been me. And I feel like shit, thinking if there was anything I could have done to stop him. Even scarier thought is that he only got 12 years for her murder. That, I just got so chills. Oh my God. That's
dodged a bullet, literally.
Oh no. Oh no. No, but like it's hard because I don't know. Like I understand her being afraid. It's just like, and you know, maybe the cops, I mean, he's only got 12 years for murder. Maybe he would have only gotten like a year or two for breaking. And like, I don't think.
But it could have set him on a different path. Like, I get where she feels.
Yeah, but I don't think she should, you know, like, just be guilty of that because it's not on her. This man was going to do awful things no matter what she did, but.
No matter what.
That's crazy.
So crazy.
It is crazy to think about, like, what do you do in that situation?
Well, something's not right in someone's head to think it's okay to jump a wall and go through someone's sliding glass door. Like, you got some screws loose.
Yeah.
Like, that's not okay. Ooh. I'm glad though. I'm really glad that she got rid of him and she knew how to get herself out of that situation too, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know. My instinct would be to call the cops, but yeah, who knows? Like half the time it's just like the justice system doesn't work in your favor, especially in situations where you don't get hurt or like assaulted. I mean, she kind of did. I mean, he was rubbing her neck and stuff. He could have like choked her out or so. I don't know.
Oh, that had to be the worst feeling ever.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like how eerie, but I don't know. Comments say, wow, girl, your survival instincts were spot on. The way your story reads, it seems like he was going to choke you to death, and you managed to reassure him and calm him down. How scary. Damn. Yeah, it's just...
I can't believe he only got 12 years, though. That's nuts.
Yeah, that is insane. That is insane. Another comment says, so many factors go into play when it comes to sentencing. Prior records, the severity of the crime, the mitigating circumstances, crime of passion versus premeditated, or was on drugs, etc. Yeah, I was going to think like maybe it was a crime of passion. If he pled out or not, shorter sentences typically if they plead. Yeah, like he's just explaining like the justice system. It works. There's so many factors to if somebody gets murdered, if it's whatever. But damn. That's really scary. And I'm glad she's okay. I feel horribly bad for his girlfriend that passed away.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, that's story number 1.
That's a creepy encounter. Absolutely. Story number 2. Yeah. I'm loving this title, Chris.
Yeah, I know, right?
My Hills Have Eyes moment in Texas.
Yep.
It's your home state.
My home state. I shouldn't have picked this one. I'm going to get scared.
They're in your mountains.
Mm-hmm.
In 2010, I was driving from New Orleans, LA to Eugene, Oregon. It was just me, 24 female, and my 2-year-old pit bull in a 14-foot U-Haul truck with everything I owned crammed into the back. A fancy flip phone and a printout of a map of MapQuest directions.
Oh,
okay, I have a question.
Remember that?
Oh my God.
Remember that when we actually had to print out directions?
Some people had a Garmin. Remember the Garmin, like, and it would suction up to the window?
Yep.
And
my
like,
dad had one of those.
Those are rich.
My dad had, my dad had one of those, like, but late in the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he got it on sale. Like, he didn't, he used that before he uses his actual
Kids
phone.
don't know the struggle,
But yeah,
man.
no, printing it out, I remember doing that all through high school. I was just like, print it out on my anyway.
I remember going to check out the college I was going to go to. I really wasn't a confident driver, and I printed out the directions. But still, looking at the directions, looking at the road, I messed it up. I got lost in London. I had no idea how to get home. My phone died. Some like random like gas station attendant let me call my dad. I'm like, Dad, I'm lost.
Right?
But that was the thing. You didn't really leave your hometown because you didn't know how to get anywhere.
No, or you'd have a map.
Like
we went on road trips as a family. They'd pull out that giant-ass map and my mom would be like, turn left here. And he's like, that was back there. And it's just like...
We're aging ourselves, but I don't even care.
Different times.
Life was so simple. You'd literally go into a gas station and say, how do I get home? And they'd be like, all right, drive down. You'll see that Ricky Rock on the corner.
Just points
You turn right at the rock.
Yeah.
There'll be a dead raccoon on the road.
There's an old guy that just carries around a yellow bag. Be wary of him, but turn right there.
Oh my
Give him $2. Yeah.
Give him $2, you'll be fine.
Yeah, he won't throw rocks at your car. Classic. Anyway,
I would not go anywhere because I have no sense.
No, me neither.
If it wasn't what it was. Okay. I think the first smartphones actually came out around that time, but I didn't have one. Mm-hmm. Cell phone service was also pretty spotty, and there were long stretches through the desert where I had zero service for hundreds of miles. That's crazy. Just a good old CD in the player.
Hell yeah.
I was driving a lonely stretch of highway through central Texas when I realized that I hadn't seen a town or exit for a very long time, and my giant U-Haul was getting really low on gas. Just when I started to freak out and seriously run out of gas, I see a small town coming up. I pull into this town, and it is tiny. I was so worried about other things that I never paid attention to the name of the town. But there were only about 6 streets in the whole place. I go gas up and get ready to get back on the road. Except, for the life of me, I can't find my way back to the highway. I circle the town about 4 times and start getting frustrated because this is such a tiny town. How the can I not find my way out? I can literally see the highway, but I can't get to it. I returned to the gas station and asked for directions. Now, when I got gas, I paid at the pump and never went in. When I enter for directions, there's a skinny, nondescript guy who has black hair hanging down in front of his eyes that looks like it could use a good wash. Sounds like an emo kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was one. I can say that. He was not particularly creepy, but a little rude. He never really met my eyes. He was looking down at a magazine. He gives me directions that do not sound right at all. He's telling me to take the road that will get me to the highway in about 17 miles. For a moment, I'm dumbfounded when I point out that I didn't drive that far to get away from the highway into town. So why so far to get back to the highway? I can literally see it from the town. He's so casual, almost like it's just an annoyance, and can follow his directions or not. Why should he care? He gives me some explanation about the road curving, and that doesn't really make sense. He still doesn't look at me. Just whatever. I gave you directions, waved his hand in the direction of the door. When I got to the parking lot, my whole body started trembling violently, and my heart started racing, seemingly for no reason. I get into the truck, and as soon as I put the key in the ignition, I burst out in tears. I had the most terrible feeling that no matter how nonchalant he acted, this man had bad intentions. I didn't know what, but I knew right then and there that there was no way I was going to follow his directions. Yet this was the only store in this little town short of knocking on doors. No thank you.
Yep.
There was no one else to ask for directions. I decided I didn't give a shit if this town seemed like something dropped out of the Twilight Zone. I was going to drive around until I found my way out, even if it took me all damn night.
Damn.
Then a big red beater of a pickup truck, as much rust as metal, pulls up and disengorges the quintessential Texas man. Huge, husky, in flannel and work boots.
Hell
I can
yeah.
picture him perfectly.
Hell yeah, brother.
Without even thinking about it, I jumped out of the truck and approached him quickly yet wearily. Looking into his eyes, I saw a kind human being, or at least I was hoping I did. I asked him if he could please give me directions to get to the highway. I told him I knew it was silly, but I just couldn't seem to find my way back. He looked concerned, as I was visibly upset. So he made me laugh and cheerfully gave me directions for a hairpin curve turnoff right at the end of the small concrete tunnel I had passed several times. He said it often confuses travelers because it was so hard to see and that they need to put signs up, etc. With a sinking feeling in my stomach, I asked how far in miles it was back to the highway. He laughed and gave me a funny look. Miles, miss? I say it's a quarter mile at most. You can see the highway right from here. At this point, I couldn't help it. I had to know. What happens if I drive? And I gave the directions that the man in the store had given me. Texas looked at me very intently and asked me how I knew about that route. It was pretty far out and usually only locals knew about it. So I told him. He was quiet for a few minutes and then asked what the attendant had looked like and if I had a map of the state. Nope, just my MapQuest, which wasn't helpful in this situation. He goes to his truck and grabs a raggedy local map from his glove box, spreading it out in front of me. He traces the route I described. The way that the man from the gas station had told me to go led away from town, away from the interstate, and led seemingly out into the middle of nowhere. Texas told me that the road did go about 17 miles right before it dead-ended in the desert. I asked him what was out there. He told me that there was nothing but some junked cars and a few trailers and mobile homes, all owned by the same family. This family was locally known as troublemakers, meth heads, and alcoholics. These were the nice things the townspeople had to say about them. And the clerk was part of the family, and he lived down that road. I'll never forget the look in the Texan's eyes as he told me this. He also told me that I was smart to listen to my instincts, and he told me to be careful traveling out there. I don't know if the man from the gas station wanted what was in the back of my U-Haul or what was in the driver's seat, but thankfully I didn't find out. Oh, and I learned that sometimes angels look like ruddy-haired Texans with scruffy faces and rusty pickups.
Hell yeah, brother.
Thank you, random Texas stranger. You really saved my ass, and I will always remember you with tons of love. Sorry I didn't ask my name. You're my forever Texan to me now.
You don't have to read the edit and all that stuff.
No,
there was like
nuts.
a prologue, but we don't need to read that. That is insane.
That's spooky.
That is Hills Have Eyes. Hey, you've seen that, obviously, right?
So long ago. I remember
So long
the
ago.
creatures and stuff, the inbred creatures. I need to watch that again.
It's just like the inbred family in the Appalachia, or no,
Yeah, and they
Texas.
like kill people.
I think there's multiple. I think there is one in like Appalachia and there's one in Texas. And it's been years since I saw it, but they eat people and kill them and all that kind of stuff.
He wanted her. That's why he didn't want to look at her. He didn't want to feel, and he was going to send her out there and then eat her or something. I remember the gross things that happened in that movie.
Crappy. Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. And it literally, Texas is so big. Like, this literally could be
Anything could
any
happen.
town, though. This literally could be any town. There's so many towns that are like 6 roads. So it's like, that's crazy, though. That is so incredibly creepy.
I'm so glad she's safe. The comments here say, oh man, that movie messed me up and your story gave me chills.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you trusted your guts. Thank God. Because especially as a woman, you have like this extra thing inside of you. You know what I mean?
It says, didn't follow the gas attendant's directions. That's so funny because in House of Eden, our movie, the gas station person's like, yeah, totally go to that. Because that's just a trope. That's why we put it in there, because it's just the classic trope. That's really funny. That's crazy. Good. Thank God. I almost traveled across country with Kevin, but then my mom ended up coming with me to come be in Texas.
Oh, I remember
But I didn't, thank God. I think I would have been fine, but still, it's better in multiple numbers. All right, next up we have, do not let your Uber driver cancel your ride while in the car. Oh, that's terrifying. Okay. Sorry this is a bit long. I know this isn't a therapist's office, but this has bothered me for a long time, and I wanted to just get this off my chest. This happened in June 2018 in Portland, Oregon. I understand I acted like an idiot in the situation. Since then, I have become much more observant, cautious, and honestly, much more paranoid. Takes one time. I went dancing with friends, was really drunk by midnight. Unfortunately, this was back when I had little money and realized you could save money by eating very little before going out, and it would take far fewer drinks to get drunk. We've all been there. We've all been there. So I was so drunk, I barely remember my friend ordering me an Uber home. My phone was dead, of course. I can vaguely recall them helping me into the car and telling me to get home safe. I don't remember greeting the driver or the first minute or so. But soon after getting in, he asked how my night was and if I smoked. Honestly, I was just thinking about bed at this point, so I sort of just slurred out that I did sometimes. He then offered me a joint, and this is the first moment I get sort of nervous and begin paying attention. I tell him something like I'm really tired and just am ready to go home. I think he said something about it being an indica-based joint, and it made for great sleep. Once again, I say something not exactly like no, but not a yes, which he takes as a yes, I'll take that joint now. Once again, I'm still drunk enough I can barely see straight or speak clearly, so when he says, okay, well, I have to cancel the ride really quick because I can't give it to you while I'm on the clock, or something to that effect. It takes me a second to realize how dangerous that is. And by the time I start to say something, he has canceled the ride and pulls over. We were in an area just east of the Hawthorne Bridge, I think, and it was totally secluded. Some empty parking lots and a closed auto body shop. No one in sight. It's starting to hit me. I'm now in the car, not with an Uber driver, but with some stranger. I can't call anyone, and he's trying to give me weed that could have anything in it. For the next minute or so, we're pretty quiet. I just can't remember any small talk he tried to make because I was beginning to panic. And every time he handed me the joint, I would take fake hits, just breathing it into my mouth and not into my lungs. I felt tired, clumsy, and weak, that kind of drunk where you're almost at a point of nausea, and I knew I couldn't do much of anything to defend myself at that point. I remember vividly being fixated for a moment on the fact that I didn't even have a pair of keys to defend myself with, as my building used fobs for just about everything, and I didn't take my mail keys with me. As I'm freaking out, I look up to see if the guy is sort of noticing, and I make eye contact with him in the mirror. He was staring at me, but I couldn't read his expression. Finally, he says something along the lines of, well, let's get out of here. I tell him I'll just call another Uber to get home, thinking at this point it might even be safer to walk. And he says, no, I still have your address. I'll just take you home. For a moment, I was relieved. I guess I wanted to believe him so badly that I would get home safe. I believed him. I tried to calm myself down, thinking he hadn't actually done anything threatening. Maybe he was just your typical stoner guy and I'm overreacting. At this time, I lived on PSU campus in downtown Portland in the southwest area of the city. He is driving me north on the east side of the river. There are several bridges to our left, and he keeps moving north. He has several opportunities to take an exit to hop over the river and get me back downtown. He keeps skipping them. We keep passing over after bridge that could get me home. Up in northeast Portland, there are some large industrial areas that can get very isolated at night, and Portland in general is surrounded by lots of forests. So I knew he could have me in a secluded area really quickly. After he passes like the fourth exit for a bridge, pretty sure it was the Broadway Bridge, I've been racking my brain for a way to make him actually take me home and say something to the effect of, "Hey, my boyfriend is waiting for me at home." Which was true, though I said it in a very meek way. My driver says nothing, but he did take the next exit for a bridge and basically hung a giant U-turn that started taking me home. Even as we're on the west side of town heading south, I'm still shaking and have my hand on the door handle, thinking about just hopping out at a red light when we get closer to my apartment. My phone is completely dead, and he honestly still has several chances to hop onto nearby highways and speed out of the city. We're getting pretty close to my apartment now, and I'm once again trying to convince myself I'm being paranoid about some stoner that can't navigate the city. Although a few minutes before I was so scared I was crying. Or I thought, I don't know. There's so many spelling mistakes in this. Sorry if I'm butchering this. So once we get about 2 blocks from my apartment, I lie and tell him it's easiest to stop here and he can let me out. Again, he doesn't say anything but does slow the car. I'm flooded with relief and even feel myself smile, but when I go to open the door, it's locked. I try to lift the lock mechanism manually, but it won't budge. Oh my God. I look at him instinctually to see what's up, and he's got his head turned almost fully toward me. Oh my God, can you just imagine just already looking at you? Oh God, yeah, exactly. Okay. Shoulders still facing the road, smiling at me. Oh my God, the worst smile I've ever seen. It looked so mocking, and it just did not reach his eyes at all. I just started crying and asking him to open the door. I was so freaked out and still very drunk, and thank God he did. I will never forget the sensation of vulnerability, not just being drunk in his car with no way to contact anyone, but even as I got out of the car, I kept feeling like he was would somehow grab the back of my shirt and pull me back in, as silly as that sounds. It doesn't sound silly. When I got home, I found out my boyfriend had actually gone out with friends last minute and wasn't even home. He wouldn't even have known till much later if I hadn't gotten back safe. The next day, I convinced myself I was freaking out over nothing, which I realize still could be the case, but in my gut, I had truly felt endangered the night before. Technically, this guy could have been totally harmless, but I still think I should have texted my friend and had her report him. The big thing that made me think of this was recently hearing about how Ed Kemper, co-ed killer, I have a giant video on that if you want to know more about him, would go for practice runs. Yes, he did, for years, by the way. Years he did practice runs, picking up hitchhikers and seeing if he could get the passengers/potential victims to trust him, or how far out of his comfort zone he could push them without them saying anything. Obviously, this guy wasn't Ed Kemper, but I hate wondering if that night was a practice run of sorts for my Uber driver. That's immediately what I thought of when she was talking about this stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Thanks to whoever reads this whole thing, though, I'm at a point in my life where I'm realizing how much danger I put myself in when I was younger and just depressed as hell, and it made me both surprised and deeply grateful I'm still here. Yeah, and I hate it, but sometimes it takes stuff like this. This has happened to me a couple times, something very similar, and it's like when you're young and you're feeling like it's when I was traveling alone internationally, and I'm like, nothing's going to happen to me. I hop on the back of somebody's bike. I'm like, can you take me home? And they go past my hotel and I'm like, oh. So I jump off of the bike.
Danger.
Yeah, in Thailand. So I was like, so I just jumped off the bike, got scraped to shit. And there's a couple other times there were similar stuff. But it's just, I don't know. It's just like you just want to think that's not going to happen. But it's just best to assume that's going to happen.
It happens so much. And there's so much you don't
does.
hear about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah. Like, listen to that little voice. Oh, and thank goodness. I mean, this guy sounds creepy as hell. Or even if he was, like, gets off on just scaring people, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows? God damn.
Weird guy. Maybe watch him just be really stoned and afraid to talk, but he was trying not to get
Maybe.
Like,
yeah, right? Maybe, but you don't know. Comments say there's so much self-blame in your post, and there shouldn't be. Exactly. You didn't do anything wrong. Uber is a trusted provider for a service. To trust them to get you home is not wrong and not your fault. He's 100% at fault. He is a creep, and you are a victim. Don't blame yourself because you have no reason to. I'm glad you were safe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you're safe.
Jesus. Now that's scary as hell, man. What the heck?
I dropped my car off to get detailed out in the middle of nowhere, and I have to call an Uber to pick me up because we have a baby now, so Adam's home with the baby.
Yeah.
And every time I'm just like, they either think they're picking up a murderer or think I'm going to think they're a murderer.
Yeah.
Because of where they're picking me up at this industrial area.
Yeah.
But every time I just get in the car, and Adam always gives me like a little pocket knife and bear spray. So they don't know that I'm sitting in the back of the car with one hand on each, just
ready. My God. Yeah, because you don't know.
I'm heavy, but I'm cute.
No.
You're beautiful.
I would kidnap you.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Yeah,
well, those
brutal.
are good stories.
Yeah,
this was a fun episode.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
full
fun.
of everybody's drama.
Yeah. But we'll end it with our own little story, a little short, cute story. So
take it away.
Let's do that. Okay. There was a girl named Cheryl who was making her way cross country with her cat, Muffin.
Sharon? Her name was Sharon? What was it?
Cheryl, I think.
Cheryl drove a 2002 Honda Pilot that was an absolute piece of junk.
Hell yeah.
Even the aux cord didn't work.
Oh. So this was an unreliable vehicle, and not only that, but this was the 80s. No cell phones, just maps. And she was starting to get lost. It was late at night, but there was a gas station, so she pulled over.
She thought, hey, I'll get some snacks, I'll get some gas and some directions. I'm just moseying along. I'm sure it'll be someone friendly. She opens the door and spots a tiny little woman behind the counter.
I was hoping you'd say it's a woman. I knew it.
I love that she drives a 2002 Honda Pilot in the 80s.
I like that. Oh, yeah, right. When was that?
2002!
Oh, you said 2002?
Yeah, but no, it's fine. She drives a 1980s.
She's a time traveler.
88.
I'm so dumb. I missed that completely.
No, I like it. It's funny.
It's fine. She's a time traveler on the side. This is a side quest. The old lady looked at her when she walked in. She seemed nice. She's about 4'11", just a little thing. But she said something so quiet that Cheryl had to walk up to the counter to hear what she was saying.
She tucks her chin in and goes, well, that's a really strange car. Never seen one of those there before. What's that you're driving?
And Cheryl said, oh, that's just my 2002 Honda Pilot. What about it? And the old lady looked at her and said, are you a time traveler?
And Cheryl said, why? Why would you say that? And the little lady slides a newspaper from behind the counter onto the top and says, darling, it's Wednesday, June 13th, 1986.
And Cheryl, wide-eyed, is shocked to hear this. She's wondering what happened, and she realized the road she had just passed was a time portal, and she was stuck in the 80s.
She pulled out her cell phone, and the woman dropped dead.
She didn't have
She said, what's that glass box?
I love how I said she didn't have a cell phone in the beginning.
Oh my God.
Plot holes everywhere. Again, I've scrambled eggs for braids. It's fine. She has a cell phone.
That's where
She
we
drops
are.
dead. And then Cheryl says, I'm an assassin from the future, you dirty old hag. Makes no sense.
So then Cheryl walks out, and a beam of light comes from the sky, and the aliens take her home.
And
The end.
gas station explodes.
There you go, guys.
They can't all
That's
be
all
gems.
we have for you.
They can't
That's
all
all we
be
have for you.
gems. God damn it. Well, yeah, that's it. That's all I get.
Pray for us.
Yeah. Have a great rest of your night. Bye. That's funny.